Hello, everybody. Welcome to this morning first game. Let's see, is my mic up? Yes, my mic is up. Ooh, thank you. Yeah, yesterday was a wild ride for technology for me, so apologies for that. But welcome to day 2 of this virtual Oricon here over at Gehenna Gaming channel, which I'm very happy to be part of. Uh, we are here today to play a bit of Call of Cthulhu with some lovely folks. I'm Frank, and today, this morning, I will be your keeper. But before we get started, I just want to, quickly pass it over to my wonderful player here, and just tell him, me your name and your character name, just so that we can get that out of the way.
Who should we start with?
And we can go by the order that I have on my little overlay here, which is to technically on my right on the overlay, Derek.
Ha! Hello, everyone. I'm Derek Ward. You can find me on Twitter at Dungeons and Derek's. I use they them pronouns. I'm excited to die in Call of Cthulhu this morning, and I will be playing Keith Marley, who is, to put it lightly, a soul-searching dilf. I am just going to say it.
He just seems like he'd be so cuddly. Like I wanna hug him.
Fantastic.
Hopefully he survives.
But hey,
Hopefully he survives.
Selinye.
Hi, I'm Selinye. You can find me on Twitter at Selinye. I will be playing Gretchen Winters. She's a police detective. And the most interesting thing about her is she's really big and muscular and looks really super intimidating, but totally is not.
Thank you for fantastic. And last but not least, hello, Frey. Good to see you again.
Hello. I'm Frey, and I'm. What do I start with? You can find me on Twitter at sketchy_goblin, and I'm going to be playing Irma, a telemarketer that ran away to smooch ghosts.
I like that.
Smooch ghosts.
Yeah, that's smooching ghosts.
All right. Wonderful. And just a quick reminder, this virtual Oricon is to support the charity, which is Don't Be a Monster. I do believe if you do exclamation mark charity in the chat, it should give you a few links that will direct you to where you can donate directly and support the cause. Don't Be a Monster. Mission is to educate and empower you to stand up to themselves and their peers by building a community where everyone is included, no matter their difference, which is I find absolutely wonderful. But apparently all my players seem to be very excited about possibly dying. So why don't we just hop in right away into a night at Rosary Blue. On the 21st of December, 1980, the longest night of the year, you are a passenger on a bus traveling to the country, currently traveling to Oregon on the I-84. It is a mile 84 Fahrenheit, so it's a pretty nice day out there. The sky seems to be pretty clear, or that is at least until it started to be suddenly overcast tonight. Snowfall. Here and there, little flakes here and there. You could swear, like, where you were able to see a starry sky is rapidly being overclouded. A few snowflakes begins to fall on the road, more and more. What was, very pleasant night of just cruising weather, quickly, within an hour, has become quite treacherous. Quite unexpectedly. You can barely see ahead of you in the road as you're like sitting in your bus seat. Like on the side, the valley mountains. You can barely see like a few feet away. some fellow passenger seem to be just sleeping through that, as they've been essentially sleeping through the entire voyage. But some of them seems to be a bit more visibly nervous, especially as the bus slipped a little bit on the road, but managed to catch itself. As we pan quickly over our passenger here, you are able to see that your fellow passenger. One of you is able to see this elderly woman, probably in her late 70s, early 80s. Hard to tell. She's holding a prayer bead in her hands and mumbling to herself, visibly in distress. Amongst you, who would be sitting the closest to her? And tell me a bit more about what we see as your character.
Probably not me. What are you doing?
Come on, don't be shy. It's all gonna be
Don't
fine.
shy. What are you? I guess it's me.
I guess it's you, Keith.
I guess it's me. I had been reading a book through much of the journey, but now I'm looking a little nervous, especially as this, when old women start rapidly speaking and praying around you, you can usually assume that something bad is going to happen. Even more so when you are an openly gay man in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely looking a little disconcerted, probably starting to tuck my book away into my big hiking bag and start to pay a little more attention, start to look out the window a little more. Might be getting ready to call out to the bus driver and be like, hey, is there anything I could do to help? Do we need to, stop for a while? Just try and start to take a little bit of the reins in whatever situation is about to occur.
And could you kindly just give me just a quick visual of who
Yeah,
Keith is as a
absolutely.
person?
So
paint us a
Keith
picture.
is a probably about 6 foot, rather hefty individual with a very well cared for beard and mustache that might be getting a little frizzly from being on the road for so long. Messy set of hair, dyed a not quite bleached but blondish color. Wears a rather comfy but worn t-shirt and some flannel over top some big hiking cargo shorts and boots. He's very much an outdoorsy looking person, and has a general demeanor of joy and very approachable outside of this particular moment.
And I kind of respect Keith for like wearing cargo shorts late December.
Yeah.
Like, this man gives no fuck, huh?
None.
None. Weather, cold, That's why I have like air on my legs.
He lived in California up till like maybe a week or so ago, so he has no winter clothing.
Yeah.
He's not equipped for this.
This man does not know what winter is really about.
Not a clue.
I can imagine he's in like flannel and cargo shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And maybe a pair of New Balance shoes.
He's got some boots on that honestly
boots. Okay.
they're kind of clash with his socks. But he's rocking it anyway.
Yeah. All right. And we have some other passenger nearby, probably on that little bus. We have Irma and Gretchen. Where would you be sitting in the bus, and what is your current state of mind with the overall external ambience?
So, because Gretchen is actually like, somewhat local, right? Like she's from the area. None of this, like, unless the weather is unusual, right? Snow during the winter, like not so unusual. When the driver does kind of lose control on the road for a minute, so she's probably sitting like up near the front where she gets a good view of the entire the entire vehicle. She does kind of like look over to the driver and go, you've driven in snow before, right? Like, can you just back off a bit? like
Yeah.
let's not roll the bus.
Yeah.
But otherwise, Gretchen just kind of is in her own, little world, kind of watching everybody, but like not. She's kind of taking everything in, but not really interacting with anybody.
Mhm. And can you paint us a picture of who Gretchen is? What does she look like?
So Gretchen is around like 6'3". She's a very tall, muscular woman. Very like stoic looking face. Brown hair like pulled up into like, the 80s like high ponytail right on the back of her head.
Mhm.
Tight to the scalp kind of thing. She looks very no nonsense and very like, I'm focused on whatever it is I'm trying to figure out, the thing in front of me, and everything else can just kind of fuck off.
Fantastic. And where's Irma in this picture?
Irma's probably gonna be in like the middle section of the bus, just a little half asleep, still trying to wake up, starting to become aware of their surroundings again, as they were mentally reciting their telemarketer speech and spiel, mentally just to try and sleep, but then it's been woken up by the bus jostling a little bit. They're a very scrunkly little fella, very petite, around like 5'4", maybe an inch on a good day, and has long dark hair that is just kind of out, an oversized flannel, some ripped up high-waisted jeans, just vibed, but starting to become a little rustled.
Fantastic. So we have a picture of our main cast. The rest of the passengers are fairly nondescript people. Some traveling business people, probably trying to get back home for the holidays, things like that. It is not a very, very crowded bus for the most part. And as Gretchen, you did address the bus driver a moment ago. He turns to you. Yeah. Don't worry. I've driven on this road for the past 20 years. I know what I'm doing. I was just not expecting the weather to change this drastically. And honestly, between you and me, I'm not sure if we're gonna make it to our destination. We might have to to pull for the night or something. And you can see him trying to look as much as possible, paying attention to the road, but also looking at any road sign, any stops that he could do that would allow a bit of a rest, because right now the weather is absolute garbage, and driving under such condition, even well prepared, is still very dangerous, and he would rather not put the life of his passenger at risk. And eventually, after maybe 15-20 minutes of driving, which honestly, in such condition, feels like hours and hours, you do see a sign on the side of the road that says the Rosary Blue Hotel. It's about half a mile up the road, so shouldn't be too far, and should hopefully have enough lodging for all of you. If not, the bus can serve as an improvised camping ground. Pulling off the road and the main highway on this little road, which is hardly you would not pick it up very much unless you knew it was there. It leads you to what appears to be almost the middle of woods and place, and in front of you, you see this building. It looks like what I could only describe as a repurposed old manor. that's been probably being built like years ago. Still in decent condition, with 3 stories high, a few, and in the middle there's one more story that it's just essentially almost like a tower-like structure with a little peak. But the bus pull up in front of it. Little sign, the Rosary Blue Hotel. All right, folks. I know it's like not being expected, but the weather just turned on us. So, if you can, like we're gonna do a stop here. I'm sure that if you do send like a receipt to the bus company, they will like reimburse you for your expense for the night. Don't worry about it. But we have to make a stop because the road is just undrivable this time. Otherwise, you can sleep and camp in the bus. That is entirely up to you. But I just want to make sure that we get home safe. So, there's some nods, and the little old lady next to Keith is still visibly nervous, even more so currently. You muted, mate.
Muted.
Right, you are. I'm just gonna kind of look over to her and be like, I'm sure it's fine, right? It's Twilight Zone stuff, it's a great story when we get back home.
And she looks at you with like a little voice. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
She mumble like that, and like visibly. You've never seen somebody being as nervous as she is right now.
Oh God. Okay. And that's saying something. So back at home in California, I'm a camp counselor. Can I roll psychoanalysis to see what's going on with this lady?
Absolutely.
Counselor.
You know it.
I mean, he does have like big camp counselor vibe.
He does. That is 66, which bodes poorly, but is a success.
The weather may have been like one of the impact, but you do like just quick glance also like spot that she's visibly a religious person, possibly believing that the whole change in weather may just be a bad omen, especially like tonight.
Fair enough.
And what is just a quick general question? How much does keep like moon cycle and solstice and things like that?
Keith, moon cycles for sure.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't keep too much track of the solstice, otherwise generally knowing the dates.
Yeah. Cool.
Good to know. Not intimidating at all. Well,
Not at all. It's all good. Don't worry.
I'm gonna see that there is generally a pretty nervous air in the bus. I'm gonna get up and be like, well, I'll go check it out. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a creepy old manor in the middle of a snowstorm.
Oh, it's perfectly fine. Just a former residence that has been turned into a hotel. It's all good.
Yeah, totally normal. This thing happens all the time. Probably.
And like as you're like about to get up, like there's this very grumpy ass businessman like just get his like suitcase and things like that out of the way. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable, I say. And he's gonna go and get out of the bus with his suitcase and like probably ruffle quite a few feathers and bumping into people, just to be.
Well, if there is anything weird, at least that guy's going first.
So, because I'm generally from the area, is the Rosary Blue like a thing that I like? Is it a venue that I've heard of, or is this, hey, we're stopping at like this random hotel that like I didn't know existed until just now?
That is a very, very good question. I'm sure there could be like a role that would apply to this general history of the place. Let's have a look. unless you have something that you want to suggest right away. I seem to have-
Nope. Like I'm just talking like her general background.
General background. Immediately, I don't think you would know of this place. Just give me just a general. I'd say history. And I think that would be appropriate, right?
Yeah. So I do not have history,
Oh.
but I rolled a 76.
So even being local, Gretchen, you probably mostly keep to your town. Traveling is a luxury most of the time, and map is not always up to date. The Rosary Blue does not ring a bell to you, but would not be surprising for such a place to exist in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
It's all fine. Don't worry.
It's all good. We're good.
Yeah, all good.
Nothing's wrong. Everything's fine.
So Gretchen would basically wait until everybody has gotten off the bus. She would probably be the last one off right before the bus driver. And just kind of watch everybody.
I'll definitely be getting off pretty quickly. Admittedly trying to just like face forward, deep breath. This is fine. This happens when people go on journeys. This is a normal thing. Trying my best not to worry about it.
Yeah.
Also trying my best not to acknowledge the person watching everybody exit Gretchen. And just walk my way on out and see about making my way towards the totally not creepy looking manor sitting in the darkness.
By the way, Keith, it's fucking cold. Like, cargo shorts are not made for this weather. Neither New Balance shoes.
No! This is the worst trip. I am going to very quickly then make my way towards the manor and hope they have some form of heating in this old place or blankets.
Yeah, and you're able to, like, from the exterior, you're able to see some light. So you do see there's electricity within the building. Irma, what about you?
I probably would leave the bus along with the rest of the mass, but then as I'm going along, I'm gonna see just Pops over there just shuffling along at a breakneck pace, trying to get in with his New Balances, and be like, that one has vibes. I like that one. I'm gonna try to tag along to see if I can catch up to him.
That one has vibes.
That one has vibes. I can tell.
Wearing flannel.
We are.
Yeah.
You're the only other person here wearing flannel.
That's
which is
right.
strange, but I like it.
Friendship from flannel. Interesting. Flannel recognized flannel.
Flanship.
We're probably somehow wearing the same size, even though it's ridiculously large on me.
So I'm assuming in that case, amongst your little group here, beside are a bit of asshole of a businessman. I'm assuming Keith and Arma are the two first in. Keith probably because you don't want to just freeze outside. It's miserable. Like, what is this?
Cold.
What is like this white freezing thing like touching you right now? California born was never made for that. So yeah, but yeah, you enter like first door, little bell ring at the top. You're immediately greeted with this first room, which seems to be like more reception area. There is like a few feet away this big mahogany desk with like a little. I'm looking for the word. It's a thing with grid and keys.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Yeah.
a board.
Yeah, essentially
Like
a board, like
Yeah.
with keys, like a board with
Yeah,
I
keys.
want to know what to call
A
it. Are they-
pegboard.
My
Sure.
yeah, a pegboard. Like my native French speaking ass sometimes have issue with finding words in either language, so
That's okay. My English
Honestly.
speaking ass has a hard time finding English words sometimes. So like it's a you're
I'm
at least
sure
doing
there's
it
a-
in 2 languages.
And-
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure there's a specific
Probably is.
word for the board, but I genuinely...
I'm sure there's one also in French, but I can also remember it, so it's cool. Yeah, you do see a board with key. You don't see anywhere the current like host or person attendee. What you do see, however, is this. There's a few people that got in as well, but this very grouchy fellow that you encountered that ruffled a few feathers just slapping that little bell like multiple times. Ding 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 ding.
Great.
And like just is there any service here? Come on.
Can I gently just scooch the bell just a bit further away every time he does that?
Sure. I'm sure you can do that.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not even gonna make you roll for any check for that just because I appreciate you being an ass to that person. It is well deserved.
In the eyes, I'm gonna do it just like it's midnight.
Look,
People are trying to sleep. People are half awake. Shut up.
anybody that is used to play games with me know that I at least make one NPC in my games that is an absolute person that you would want to punch in the face, and it may just be this businessman.
We'll give it the rest of these 3 hours and see if that actually happens.
Yeah. But eventually, as a few people that settle in, walk in, warming up from the cold from the outside, this dimly lit room, you do see coming from behind, like essentially a bead curtain, this very well kept gentleman, probably in his mid 40s, like slick back hair, a bit of gray on the side, a little mustache, and a little nice black suit with like little bow tie. Oh, well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Rosary Blue. So many guests. We were not expecting so many people. But I suppose the weather sometimes can be a sign of that people may have to make an unexpected stop. And you can see him like just doing a gentle head count. All right. We may or may not. And you look around the board. I have enough rooms to accommodate everybody, but I'm sure that if some of you decide to bunk in together, I'm sure there's a few people here that are already we can accommodate. But welcome. My name is Mortimer, and I'm the host. This person is like, yeah, I want a room by myself. I don't want to bunk with anybody. Just like I want it, like, and you can see like he takes cash out. Can I have like just room now so I can just get my thing, get my night's sleep, and so I can just get over this nightmare and get back on the road.
I'll triple bunk with anybody I need to if it means nobody has to room with that guy.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
Gretchen's just basically watching to make sure dude doesn't do anything dumb. Right?
Yeah.
It's okay to be irate in public.
Yeah.
Just like don't punch anybody
Mhm.
and we're good.
And for sake of brevity, and also because I don't know what a hotel room would go for in 1980. Like, come on. Like, especially it is an unfamiliar currency for me. Room keys are distributed. Payment is done. So, whatever money you may have currently on you is whatever is left after the transaction. You do get a little receipt, which is and print and sign. Well, here are your keys. have a good stay. If you are hungry, we will have a service in the main dining hall in about an hour for our current guest. And also, you, so I would suggest that you settle in and go place an order.
Right. So I'm assuming, because it's a tabletop game, and of course there's always some level of convenience, the three of us have probably been stuck in a room together. So I'm going to take my key and just start making my way through the totally not creepy manor with a guy who's well dressed in the middle of Oregon, in the middle of nowhere, named Mortimer, running it. And find my room as quickly as possible.
I mean, the definition of creepy varies from one person to another, right? Some would find it very charming and cozy. Some may find it a bit creepy. But for the most part, this establishment is a very, very beautiful place with nice dark wood with like contrast on very period appropriate wallpaper. The lighting is warm, although a bit scarce. It's just an older house. They don't, run too much lighting. Also because the wiring may be a bit old. The occasional light flickers here and there, but nothing that stopped for too long. It's just a mild flicker. Quickly you're able to find your room, which is located on the western wing on the second floor.
Second floor. Harder to escape, but sure enough. Yeah, I'm gonna make my way in, kind of case the place. Given the time frame, there is a certain level of paranoia in unfamiliar hotels. So I'll just kind of take a brief look around and see where I'm staying the night at, what we're looking at. Take off my way oversized backpack that looks like it's probably for sledding or hiking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. Is it dusting weird, or is it like immaculate and beautiful?
I was gonna ask.
That's a very, very good question. It is not overly dusty. It is well kept. Is it immaculate? No. Because maintenance of a big place like that, it can be a bit difficult. But you can tell that there is indeed some effort being put, keeping the place well, in top shape condition, at least as much as possible. The room that you have, room 7B, is a medium-sized room. It's not overly large. It's not overly small. It's fairly comfortable, made for a few people traveling together. In the middle of it, there's a double bed, and there's also a bit of a long chair that what I can only describe as a lazy boy type of deal. That could be easily
A barca lounger.
Yeah. There's a nightstand, a little working desk with a chair and a little lamp, and there's a light switch that you can turn on the few lights that are on the ceiling as you make your way through. And like many old houses, for some reason there's a bit of a delay when you turn on the switch and the light turn on. I live in an old house. I noticed that shit.
It's the wiring.
Yeah, it's the wiring.
Gretchen. I was gonna say Gretchen. Once we get to the room, would be like, "I'll take the chair."
Yeah. And would you have asked for a room that is more central to building, or one that have possibly a window to the outside?
Given the fact that I'm wearing shorts, I would have asked more central. Again, having lived in an old house, I know how those side walls, especially ones with windows, just leak heat.
Yeah.
I don't know about the two of you, but I have been to the Haunted Mansion at the Nondescript Mouse amusement park, and I don't know, maybe it's just the weather. It makes me uncomfortable.
Fancy. I'm gonna like check out the desk a little bit. I'm curious to see if anyone has like left anything from like previous days.
Sure.
I'm just gonna give a grubby little mitts all over anything I can get, really.
I guess that would be more or less spotted in, I believe, right? For just looking around. Like on the surface, it seemed to be well kept and clean. But sometimes you may be able to find something that may be not fully visible right away.
Do you roll above or below the number to hit?
Below.
Below? That's a miss.
So Irma, you like telemarketer, you like to know people. You know when you call people, you within five minutes you try to connect and know them, and that's just your instinct trying to connect with the room and people that may have been here. You go look around, search, look, open, close drawer, poke around. Nothing really catch your attention at the moment. Maybe perhaps the slight hissing sound of the water heating system in this whole house, keeping the room warm, is getting on your nerve and keeping you out of focus. But
the store jiggles a little bit, but that's all I can see. At least this place is a little clean.
Why are you all going around and investigating? What are you looking for? Trying to find one
Anything?
of the... Really?
Yeah. Yo, I like to collect bugs and stuff. It's like winter, but like if I could find something, that'd be fun. Do you like bugs?
To an extent, yeah. Well, I'll take the floor tonight then. And if I see any bugs skittering around in the middle of the night, I'll let you know.
Sure. That'll work. Appreciate it.
looks like Irma managed to get herself a big double bed by herself. Sweet.
Yeah, they did. By virtue of just looking at a desk, saying they like bugs, it's like, all right, we're going to leave that one alone.
No, Keith isn't gonna sleep in a bed with a random stranger. He's just
Yeah, that
like,
too.
You have your space. I'll take a floor. I sleep in tents 90% of my time. This is fine. Well, I'm gonna basically start taking out some nonsense from my bag and just trying to set up like a little sleeping spot, probably with like the one piece of winter clothing I bought for the trip that's like an oversized jacket that's probably overkill in most situations as a blanket and etc.
Giant parka. I just
Yeah.
imagine like this big fluffy like down parka with like
Just way too much going on.
The first thing you would
Somehow
have
covering over the eyes.
Keith is the person to like not buy like pants, but to buy like a parka and an ice pick for no good reason.
So he's just there wearing it still in his cargo shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
You can hardly see his face at all outside his beard.
Gretchen like sits down in the chair. She's got like a duffel bag, right? That, you know, she opens up, grabs like a very, you know, like a detective novel, right? And just kind of sits down in the chair and just starts reading. She's like, I'm just gonna pass the time, pass out, right? And you know, not disturb these other two fine people more than, you know, my face already is.
I'm just gonna take the oversized untucked flannel I have and just like turn it around so I'm just wearing it kind of like a bad snuggie. And since I'm the only person with the bed, I'm just gonna starfish.
Oh my god.
Luxury.
I love that you don't even use the blanket, you just use your flannel as a snuggie.
Yes.
It's just... Yeah.
fantastic.
I'm probably closest to the door.
Yeah.
Anyone gonna read, or should I get the lights? All
I'm
right.
fine with, turning out the light. It's cool.
Okay. Keith will just pop up and hit the lights and settle back in the middle of the darkness. Go. This place is fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'll probably just settle in and attempt to sleep. More than likely, taking way too much time to listen to all of the creaks and groans and anything else that I can hear around me.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is a role I should do for that,
I mean, is there a role you would like to do for that?
I can do listen.
Yeah.
Hell no, that's 100. Hell no.
Keith's not hearing shit.
Yeah.
I got a 97 earlier, so I feel it.
Yeah. Keith is not hearing shit. Keith is probably too much in his own head. Keith probably saw like horror film like not so long ago in theater, and this place remind him way too much of that.
Oh yeah.
Too.
I watch a lot of Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
I'm not
So-
here for this.
Yeah, so Gretchen would also kind of just be, kind of lounging in the chair listening. And I got a 45 out of 50. So
45.
I actually succeeded.
Oh, that's good.
Hey. Wow.
So trying to ignore possible any body sound of your roommate, because we all make all sort of sounds, and we don't notice it most of the time. You do pay attention to everything that was around you. One thing that you do notice just by listening, you do hear some footstep outside of the door in the hallway. And they stop for a moment. You swear that they stop in front of your door. But there's no more sound. Just a footstep that just stop in front of your door.
Okay. I'm assuming that there is a little
People.
looky thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, peephole in the door. So she would get up, try not to step on Keith, and go peek out the door and see what's there.
No. You probably have to bend down because you are a fairly tall person. Take a look in the hallway. What you're able to see is the door to the opposite room, and maybe a bit of the peripheral. But you don't see anybody.
Okay. She
So-
kind of so she'll crack the door and kind of look either direction. Did we determine, are we in the middle of the floor or at the end?
You would be room 7B would probably be more or less middle of the floor. There's probably a room to your right, which is a more or less corner room.
Okay. From what I heard, could I tell the direction that the steps were walking? Could I tell were they coming from the left or coming from the right?
I'm assuming you succeeded pretty well on that listen check.
Yeah, I mean, it was 45 out of 50.
45 out of 50 is pretty decent. So if you were to step out, the room to your right would be the corner room. They came from the left side.
Okay, so they came from where the rest of the rooms were.
Yeah, which is more or less where you can walk up to as well.
And I didn't hear any other doors open or anything, just the footsteps walk and then stop.
Just a footstep. Did not hear any door or any sound of keys. Just a footstep.
Okay.
And they were very subtle.
Okay. Can I use spot hidden in the hallway?
Are you opening the door?
Yeah, no, I opened the door to
Okay.
like look out
Okay.
to see
Sorry,
if I
did I
could
catch that?
figure out where they went.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if I can. Nope. 69 though. Nice.
Nice.
But nope. I don't spot anything hidden apparently. Okay.
Yeah.
So she kind of looks both ways. Doesn't see anything.
You
Gently
look
closes
you look
the door.
around. Yeah. It's just nobody beside the whatever little light ambiance and the little like a rug in the middle of the hallway that just goes across. And
She just writes it off and goes back to sit down in her chair.
yeah. And
Tries not to trip over Keith on the way back.
and as you close the door and sit back down, you hear the footstep again, continuing their path. And then they're like slowly fading away.
So I'd like to mention that this time I wasn't able to sleep much, so I've just been staring at the ceiling and
Yeah.
just hearing Gretchen just putter around, but not sure really what's going on. So I've been trying to like quietly watch, but like not intrude. But by the time she'd sit back down, I would probably be like, "Hey, what's going on? Hi, is there someone there? Hello?"
I thought I heard footsteps. But there's nobody out in the hallway, so
Oh, that's
You know.
fun.
it's an
Well,
old house. There
Yeah,
it's
something
it's
subtle.
yeah.
It might. Or it might not.
You hear a gentle knock at your door. I have to do a bit louder because, well, otherwise my microphone won't pick it up.
I'm up.
That was a very gentle knock. Okay, since Gretchen's already like I'm assuming like it's as she's about to sit down, she kind of goes and like walks back to the door.
In
Looks
that
in the
like
peak.
mid section where you're like just about to touch the chair.
Mid squat, right?
Yep.
Gets back up, looks out the peephole.
And you see Mortimer just gently, like, being his pristine self, with a little a notebook in his hand.
Oh, the dinner orders.
She kind
I
of
was
like
wondering how we're gonna do that.
she kind of like cracks the door.
Good
The-
evening.
Hi, the others are sleeping. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if your party was gonna attend dinner tonight. Otherwise, it is fine. I would just like to be able to take attendance and prepare the table accordingly.
Oh yeah, dinner. She like gently nudges Keith on the floor.
I just kind of like look around. Like,
Hey, I know it's late, but Mortimer wants to know if we want dinner.
It's late. It's about like 6-7 o'clock. It's late dinner.
Oh, 6-7 o'clock p.m.
thought
For
it
some
was
reason, I
later
thought
than
we
that
were
for
in the
some
middle of the
reason.
night.
I thought it
I
was like
said
10
midnight
p.m.
earlier, so that might be why.
Oh yeah, okay, well that's fair. Well, food does sound nice. You know, look at Irma.
Food. What kind of food? What do we got?
Wow,
It-
really easy.
She kind of like just invites Mortimer into the room.
Mortimer does not step into the room. He just stay at the door.
Oh, that's unnerving.
Well, we do prepare a variety of dish. Although tonight's special is chicken and herbs with some lemon and a little salad on the side, potato and peas, with a pairing of wine. Unless you wish to have tea or something else instead.
You know what? Sure.
Unless something else would better suit your taste, I can verify with our chef.
Sounds fine to me. Yeah. Mark me down. I'll time for a bit of time.
So it sounds like 3.
Fantastic then. And you seem like right on his notepad. You may
Can
go
I see what
downstairs.
he wrote on the notepad?
Sure. That would just be just quickly spotted. I mean, I'm assuming spotted and would work for that. You're trying to spot what he's writing, right?
Yeah.
While Selinye rolls that, this sounds kind of silly. Since I'm laying on the floor still at the moment, can
Yes.
I do a spot hidden roll and see how dirty his shoes are?
Yeah, go for it. Are you like looking for like top of the shoe or like the sole of the shoe, which is
Kind of like that the lower portion. Has he been treading around
Okay.
out in the snow or in the mud, etc.? Just checking. And
Just
I got
check.
just
got a
checking.
4. So yes, very much succeeded.
Are you afraid to like end up in a snowbank tonight, Kate?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And Gretchen, what did you roll?
A 13.
13.
So yes, also depending upon
The rolls.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you say? If you see is like, just quickly like room 7B, a little check mark, and 3 guests.
Okay.
Kate, you're looking for at like the shoe of Mortimer, this man in this very very fine, pristine suit. To see if he may have ventured outside and. Very well kept, well maintained shoes. You don't see any sign of mud or snow, or especially like with the accumulation of snow right now, you would probably expect also like the end of his pants to be a bit wet from it.
Wet, yeah.
No, this man has been, unless he has changed his pants and shoes in recent time. He's been most likely within the hotel all day.
All right. Cool. Just because. No reason. Well, I guess I should probably get back up. I'm gonna throw my coat to my side and start getting up and sort my beard out a little bit.
Wonderful.
So, shall we, I guess we should get ready for a dinner party. Oh, I just realized, hi, I'm Keith. This has been going really fast. For the 2 of you. Nice to meet you. Oh, you're muted.
I sure am. I'm Gretchen.
It's Irma. Hello.
Okay. Well, do I get the feeling that we have like a while to wait before the dinner party, or should we make our way
You would
there?
expect probably like a 10-15 minutes. And also you need to find your way downstairs and you're not familiar with the layout, so that is entirely up to your discretion how much time you want to take in your room.
Totally fair.
Is
Don't
there a
just take
bathroom-
hours.
Is there a bathroom attached to a room, or is there like a separate one down the hall?
You don't see any like other door beside your main door, which you can assume there's no bathroom, unless you want to be terrible and use other things in here. There is, however, when you made your way up, you did see at the bottom of the stairs, at least a guest bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not currently that you have been able to see on the second floor, but there may be one like what would be further down, like at the corner. But
That's one bathroom for a lot of people. Okay, I'm gonna knock first before going in, and I just want to freshen up a little bit.
Okay, so I assume I will also be following to make my way downstairs as well, towards presumably the dining hall.
Yeah, Gretchen's just gonna head downstairs. You know, once everybody decides they're gonna leave the room, she's just gonna head downstairs to the dining room.
And you hear a strange buzzing noise in the pipes.
Yeah.
Nothing to be unnerved for.
Big beetle.
Big beetle.
Yeah, a big beetle.
Surprise scarab!
Yep.
So what exactly what brings you out here? Say, looking to Gretchen, probably because Irma has gone to the bathroom.
You know, I haven't taken PTO in, well, let's just say that I was told I needed to take some time off.
You and me
So
both.
I'm taking some time off. No plan, just not at the office.
Yep. I guess neither of our vacations are going as expected.
I mean, arguably, I didn't really have an expectation, so
Yeah, fair enough.
it's going exactly to plan. She just kind of shrugs.
Well, I'm gonna make my way to the actual dining hall, down steps, leave Irma to whatever.
We're just gonna leave Irma to her fate in the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm sure
Irma
that will go
emerges from
totally
the
fine.
shadows. Hello, I have found more beetles.
So, Irma,
Yes.
you're going to the lavatory, the bathroom.
Yes. Mainly just to freshen up my face, but also just because I know there's gonna be a mirror.
You're
in
muted.
there.
You're muted and
I
being
am
picked up on
muted.
Derek's mic.
That's good, at least. Mainly because I want to find a mirror, just because I want to see what could happen if I find a mirror.
Okay. I like that. Somebody's a bit of adventurous and not, Derek.
I'm getting murdered tonight.
I also just want to see like the quality of the water too.
Okay. So you go downstairs. You're probably the first person going down after eventually Keith and Gertrude will follow suit. You check the door. It's open, so there's nobody inside. Turn on the light switch. Little light that turn on over like mirror and sink, and toilet, and there's even a bit of a attached shower section in case you need to rinse off. Close the door and you turn on the water.
Yeah.
So you hear like I would guess describe it as a rushing sound of the water in the pipe. You hear the pipe shaking a little bit, and eventually splatter out some water in the sink. Water is clear.
Does it smell like anything? Or is
Ooh.
it just water?
That's a very good question, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
No, in Call of Cthulhu, is there a smelling check?
Is there a smell? I don't know. Can I charm the water? No. I do have charm.
Or whatever you would like to that we see fit for that.
Spot hidden always can fit.
Spot hidden fits for everything apparently
It
in Call of
does.
Cthulhu. It is the one test skill check fits all, from what I understand from the system.
Yeah.
You can do that.
I'd love to try that. See if
Yeah.
there's anything mysterious about water. And I can already tell this is it. I made it.
Fantastic. So you try to get a whiff of water, for lack of a better word. Smell,
Yeah.
bend down a little bit.
Just a general like
Yeah.
sink bowl and like
Yeah.
large like how bad is this? Is there sulfur somehow? What's going on?
It smells very irony, but it may just also be like the old copper pipe. And you smell down, go down. The light, you've been in this house, this hotel for, I don't know, half an hour now, settling in. The light always flicker. with that spotted in check, as you're bending down, you can probably see the mirror in the peripheral. As the light flicker, for a moment, you swear you saw another shadow behind you, but it's no longer there.
Fun. Great. What
That's
Raleigh
no
is.
good.
It may just be
not
your
bad.
imagination, may just be like the sometimes flashing lights. You see things in the dark, right? Your eyes play tricks on you.
Right. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna just quickly clean my face. Probably not touch any of the towels if there are any, and just get out.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless there's like,
there's a like little rack of like little clean towels.
am I gonna be that much of a, yeah. Is there a sink cabinet?
There's,
There is.
yeah,
Is it locked?
no.
So, that sink cabinet, what happens if I open that?
So you open it. It's essentially like slightly underneath the sink. A few things that you notice. A first aid kit, just in case. You never know.
Okay, that's good to know, actually.
Yeah, first aid kit. You do see like the part of the pipe of the sink going down and to the wall, which is normal. You do spot a bit of wood dust at the bottom, like in the corner, and it is a bit more dusty down here. There's apologies if there's anybody arachnophobe. A bit of a spider web, just in the corner as well. It's just there, you know, just vibing in a little dark corner at back, because it's a good spot to be, and it seems to be fairly recent web. It's not massive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if that's all there is, I'm gonna just take a mental note of a first aid kit and close the cabinets, finger guns the mirror, and slowly walk out.
Yeah. And you walk out, close the door, turn off the light. As you walk away, you do hear, again, just for a moment, running water.
Okay.
Essentially, if you pay attention to the sound cue of what you did, it seems to almost repeat itself. Exactly, repeating itself.
Okay. That's kosher. All right. I'll
Timehouse.
I'll keep that in mind and carry on.
But it's probably about this time that Kate and Gretchen, you make your way down the stairs. You know, walking down your steps. The stairs are creaking a little bit, but it's expected. Even for like more modern house, like wood stair will sometimes creak.
Yeah.
Right? It's fine.
Normal. No,
It's all good.
Totally fine.
It's just old.
It's settling.
Yeah, it's settling.
It's settling.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. Like, it's not just me, right? This place is kind of creepy.
I mean, Gretchen just kind of shrugs. It's an old house.
I'm just, like, we're in the middle of nowhere in a manor that seems ancient that's been converted into a hotel, and the guy that runs the counter is better dressed than anybody in this entire state and calls himself Mortimer. I'm just saying, that's kind of suspect, right? No? All right, I'm crazy.
No, just healthy suspicion.
It's been a hard few years.
You kind of get the feeling that Gretchen is like, if it's not in front of my face, it doesn't exist kind of thing, right? So like as you start talking about like, oh, ghosts and da 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 da, she's just kind of like, uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Ghosts. Creaky old house. Just a creaky old house.
I'm thinking like, I don't know. I'm not so nervous about paranormal as I am like axe murderer. You know.
Gretchen goes, like you're actually pretty unlikely to encounter an axe murderer. The hotel's pretty full. We're sleeping multiple people per room. And I'm generally from this area, and I've not
You don't get a lot of axe murderers in this area.
I mean, not
Not
that
a lot.
not that the agencies really talk to each other very often, but I've not heard anything negative about this hotel. So unless they're really, really good, I think we're relatively safe.
I'll chalk it up to just first time this far away from home. Dining hall.
Fantastic. Armar, I'm assuming you're joining Kate and Gretchen at the same
Yep.
time.
I'm going to emerge from the shadows as I often do.
Ah!
Hello.
Well,
Waterworks.
great. Is it hot?
You know, I actually didn't check that. That's the
Did you
That
turn
is
on the
true.
hot water tap? Probably not.
one thing I didn't check.
One thing I will give all of you. You hear currently like little clock ticking noise.
Like it's in my very brain.
Yeah. What is weird little thing? Wherever you've been so far, except sometime a bit more isolated as it has been like Irma's case, it's always there, and the volume doesn't seem to shift all that much. But it's just a little notes I'm giving you all. Just
Clock murderers.
yeah. But you make your way to the dining hall, right? You know, going back in front of the front desk, where there's nobody bit behind the desk at the moment, to a bit of a hallway to its right, and back further, you are presented with this very spacious, nice room with various table to be able to sit multiple guests. There's a few chandelier that are lit up with tiny little bulb, because it is, it's modern. That's not used, and it is a very well decorated room. A few pictures on the wall. You do see in the back end of it the ever ticking grandfather clock that he seems to have just been picking up unconsciously, pointing the time. It is a bit past 6 o'clock.
So do we have like assigned seats at the tables, like, or is it basically just like a free for all?
So you do see that at some table there are already some people that are here, like some people that were in your bus.
Do I see the old lady?
Give me a spot hidden.
She's just crouching in a corner. Nope, that's an 85.
Yeah, you don't see the old
The
lady.
old lady's hiding under a table.
You don't see the
Old ladies on the ceiling.
yeah.
Oh, the little babies are gonna
She's
burn.
You don't see the old lady.
Mm.
You do see Gretchen. You were looking around if they were assigned seating. You do see a little sign on table that says room 7B, which is your room, with like cutlery set up for your party, and glass, like glass one that are like flip upside down, that are empty, and just already there for you, just setting up the table so that you can sit and be comfortable and ready to eat in a moment.
All right. I'm gonna make my way over, take a seat. Kind of like take a moment to look around.
Yeah. Look around. There's, you can see, because it is more on the back end of this hotel, you do see some window, a fairly large window showing the exterior. Well, what would normally be showing a view of the mountain and like the woods and things like that. Currently very, very obfuscated by the darkness and snow outside.
Okay, still snowing.
It's still snowing outside.
Well, all right. Being a little convinced from Gretchen that I'm just a little stressed out, and this is a little weird, but not like, statistically the axe murderer thing is very unlikely to happen. So I'll get a little comfy in my chair, settle in a little bit, look at all the other folks, and contemplate wine, but decide against it, and think about the incoming herb-encrusted chicken.
And because I'm a kind and generous keeper. One thing that you notice just looking around the room, Kate, you see like some fellow passenger. You did not spot the old, totally not a nun lady. But one other person that you did not spot, actually two other people that you did not spot yet, is one, the bus driver, but may just be preoccupied somewhere else trying to figure out how to get, his route up and ready tomorrow and communicating. And you no longer see this very grouchy businessman. You don't see him seated anywhere. Perhaps they just decided to take a nap for the night or just don't feel social, but you don't see them currently. Which may be omen for a more pleasant evening.
Maybe. Gotta keep that feeling of unease and just take a back seat for a moment. Just sit.
As I'm there, I want to know, are there any other doors that look like they lead to like a kitchen or any sort of service area? I'm not going to go there. I just want to see if there's like, sometimes they have like the little like tiny windows you can see through. I'm curious to see if like I can look through if there is any.
Okay. I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. I'm just gonna give this to you. There was like the first, on the south side, where you came in, right? You do notice just behind what seems to be a very taxidermy bear. You do spot a little door with what would be a window at the top, but it seems to be mirrored, just to show what is on your side, but not necessarily what is on the inside, which is fairly common in some kitchen area. So, because you don't want to bump out in people coming in.
That poor bear.
Yeah, the poor bear.
That poor bear.
But yeah.
What type of taxidermy job is that bear?
Oh well, it's pretty well made. Somebody actually knew what they were doing, at least, or actually, they would probably be an appraise. Let's choose just general appraise.
Okay.
Let's give it a go, right?
No.
No. It is bear shape.
That's a bear shape. Cool.
Yeah. It is It is overlooking the room, along with the rest of the decor, which or seems to be various, a few paintings and a few photographs, and there's a few lights around. But it is a very, very nice ambient, very nice, cozy room, warm. And you see like the other guests, some chatter being like kept low amongst.
Okay,
Eek.
Keith can't take it anymore. I'm gonna go look at the clock.
Ah,
Very gentle. It looks like it's expensive.
Yeah. I mean, you can appraise it if you want to know how expensive it is.
Nope.
But you can do. You can do. Are you looking for? What are you looking for exactly?
Why the fuck can I hear this upstairs in our room?
Oh. Are you looking?
It is grating on him. So, what would you spot hidden?
Do you want me
or-
first a spot it and check to see if there's anything unusual you can see about it? As you're just
That's an 8.
8.
So that's a definite.
So you take a look around, just look at the clock. At first glance, it looks like your ordinary big grandfather's clock with a big little
Sure.
pendulum and big bell that will ring throughout the house, which you heard a moment ago. Looking around, you do see some marking, more a bit behind, like as you like probably. I'm assuming that Keith is very curious and snooping around.
Oh yeah.
Probably like fairly obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not hiding it. If Keith wanted to hide it, he could not.
Yeah. You do get a few look at you, like, but yeah, you do see some marking behind.
Markings. What kind of markings? Like something dragged from the wall markings, or like writing markings?
Something that has been inscribed there.
Yo. Oh boy. Presumably not in English.
I mean, yes, it is in English.
Oh.
It is also
Can I like run my hand along it and see if I can figure out what it says?
sure. Would you roll a 5, right, on that spot it didn't check?
Yeah. Yes. No. 8.
8.
But that puts me.
That's pretty good. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna carry over that roll. All right.
I'll take it.
What you do see, or well, not see, but feel.
Feel.
Tip your finger. Most likely a name.
Name. Okay. Kind of gonna think about that for a moment.
You do
Get
like
a
you,
little
like
more-
first letter seems to be like a S, and you go a bit further down. There's a bit of space and it seems to be like a V. It is very well, like it is not just like crappily engraved there. It is
Yeah, it's
very well lettering.
crafted. Probably a signature from a craftsman. I'll remember that. Kind of get up, make my way back over to the dining table, and look to Irma and Gretchen. Who's bothering me? It's loud.
okay, so that you hear that too then. Okay, cool.
Yeah, like I couldn't. Are they piping it around the house? Like crazy.
And it's got any louder than where you have been around. Just every constant.
Yeah. There's a name on the back of it. Probably a signature. It's really well put together, but.
I'm gonna be honest. I found the bathroom, by the way.
That's
Nice
good.
little thing. When I closed the door and I was out, I could hear everything that I did repeat. I don't know if pipes do that.
Somebody didn't just come in behind you, or
How would they? How would I not see them if I
I don't
literally just
know.
closed the door? They didn't knock. That's when I didn't notice them walk in on me.
Like, yeah, well, no, maybe like you left and like someone came in, like maybe they were waiting by the.
That I mean, like the door had just closed. I'm right up against the door. Do pipes like have like an echo?
I mean, it's not impossible. I don't think. I don't know.
Okay, but like the pipes here suck, right?
I don't know. I haven't used any water.
You mentioned hearing them though.
Yeah, it's an old house. It settles, right? Yeah, like things
Gotta hear
grow.
that for the rest of the night, aren't I?
Yes.
All right.
It sucks.
And a few minutes in, as you're discussing plumbing, you do see Mortimer. Again. All right. If anybody has any preference on their drinks, please let me know. We are serving tonight with our chicken. We are pairing with a very nice Malbec. But if you have any preference on tea, coffee, or simply water, please let me know. And he's going, and you can see him like going around, essentially table. Most people seems to be either taking a tea or going with the wine pairing for the night. And he goes to your table and do the same.
Water.
Simply water. And for
Water.
you, fantastic. I shall bring a pitcher of water for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
And-
Oh, not to
Yes.
distract you from your task, I was just curious about the clock. I took a look at it. It's very beautiful. I was wondering if it had a history.
Oh. Indeed it does. This clock was brought inside, imported from Europe, upon finishing the construction from the house years ago, about 100 years ago.
Old clock.
It used to belong to the owner of the residence, Mr. Sebastian Vancraft.
Fancy name. I assume not a local.
No, Mr. Vancraft was indeed a wealthy man in his time that decided to settle and expand business here in the Americas.
Excellent. So, if I remember correctly, the name started with an S.
Yeah,
So
Sebastian
S.
Vancraft.
Vancraft.
Yeah.
More than likely. Thank you very much. My
You're
apologies
welcome.
for distracting you.
The hotel is quite a fascinating history.
I would love to hear more of it sometime.
Certainly, and you can also see some of it in picture, you just very politely, kindly gesture like over like some photograph or some of our most famous guests and interesting guests. Sometimes take picture as a souvenir, and we photograph them for moment that we like to remember.
Excellent. Thank you. And the second he's gone, I am up from the table
Yeah.
on photographs.
Photograph, and you leave, goes to in back kitchen. You do hear some like generic kitchen noise, food being ready and plated. Go see those photographs, right?
Yeah, anyone want to come with me? Or...
Gretchen gets up and she'll walk with you.
Yes. I think we all are just like huddling around these photos now.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. Are you looking for anything specific in those photographs?
I'm
Aside the fact that
looking
they're,
Mortimer.
people and... You're looking for Mortimer?
You're looking for Mortimer.
Mortimer. I'm
Oh,
curious.
I'm looking for anything marked with Sebastian's name. Anything that I could assume would contain him.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, I guess, the one skill that fits all for most things.
The roll of the night.
Welcome to Spotted and Check, everybody.
That was close.
That's a 15.
That was
15.
close.
I'll just do a
Seven.
generic spot hidden, not looking for anything in particular, but just kind of looking.
Okay.
Also succeeded, but barely. I had a
Barely.
75. I got a 72. So.
Okay.
I did rather well.
Yeah, I got a 94. So
All right.
no.
Oh.
Gretchen, You look at those
What a
pictures.
pretty
They're
photo.
nice
They're
old picture.
pictures.
Like it's like from like various time period and historical people like here and there, like the area. Kate, you are looking for Mr. Vanker, I do believe.
Yes, indeed.
You do look around on like various pictures, and you do find one of him as an older gentleman sitting in a very very nice chair by his side a woman and child, which you can assume is Mr. Vancraft because there's also a big ass oil painting of the man in the room.
Ah,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Easy
And
to
you know,
identify.
yeah, it's like yeah. I mean, it looks it looks like the man. You know, that would probably be Mr. Vancraft, indeed.
Is there a date on like a plate for the picture by any chance?
Yes, absolutely. This November 1881.
Okay, so about a solid 100 years ago, so probably
Yeah.
around first year the hotel was built.
Yeah, which would make sense. You do pick up some element of the decor that are the same or
Yeah.
very close. A few things that change. He was a older man, but very that seems to be very robust. Yeah.
Okay, maybe this just is like an interesting tourist trap. You know,
Yeah.
maybe it just has a bit of a creepy charm to it.
I mean, you have not noticed a gift shop, so
True. Yes.
yeah,
that's what we
it's
get
at
on the
the
way
end.
out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Irma, you're looking specifically for Mortimer, correctly? Correct?
Yep. I want to see if he shows up in one of the really old photos for no reason.
All right. Take a look at all the photograph. Possible, even like looking at a reflection
Yeah.
in that art can be seen in the photograph. Look at more recent one. You do see Mortimer. Like,
Right.
easily, yeah. Looking at older one. You do see some shadow of a man about that would probably match his height and build, but not certain features are not fully visible. It's older photograph. You do eventually, probably because Keith has been spending so much time looking at that photograph, look at the one that of Mr. Vancraft, which is Mr. Vancraft sitting in a chair, like a few things around. What you do, one of the things that catch your attention, it may just be your imagination here, because all photographs they're not like HD, like they're. You do spot at very bottom, what it would be a hand mirror. That's like sitting on a table, just beside way. And you do see like a reflection of somebody, not the person that took the picture, because you would probably see part of the camera. But you do see a picture of a very well-kept man with a very nice mustache. You don't see much details, but you do see somebody that would not be beyond somebody's imagination if it was very vivid. That would look roughly like Mortimer. The very Keanu Reeves feeling that when you look at an old picture that there's somebody that looks like Keanu Reeves, you do have that Keanu Reeves experience here.
The Keanu Reeves
Keanu
experience.
Look,
Reeves.
I'm trying to find better words for it to describe it, and the Keanu Reeves experience seems to be the best thing here.
Yeah, you know what? That fits better than Uncanny Valley, I guess. So
Yeah.
that works. All right, I'll just mentally lock that one away.
Mhm.
So there was other people there aside from them and the photographer. at the very least. If that's not him, that's at least somebody.
Yeah, it may be help or
Definitely
somebody else.
someone.
Yeah. And as you're clocking to return to your table, you do see that at your table there's a little cloche with what would be presumably food and a pitcher of water on your table.
I'll definitely make my way back and get ready to enjoy some water and some chicken. Obviously, this is just a perfectly normal, creepy hotel. Totally cromulent. Nothing weird. Except for a very strange clock.
Mm-hmm. It's a normal place.
Gretchen is just like taking this all in stride. She's like, okay, the bad weather, right? She's, you know, she was like, legally it was a good thing he stopped, so that's fine. You know, yes, we're safe in the hotel, that's cool. Like, I'm gonna eat my rubber chicken. And, you know, actually, is it rubber chicken, or is it good? Like, is the food
Yeah.
like good?
So you live the cloche. It is well presented, beautiful chicken. Take a bite of it. Yeah, it tastes good. It tastes fantastic indeed. Like you've never tasted something that fancy before. Because, like, with your job, you are probably not used to Ireland food. Or
I mean, so my credit rating's 45. So
Oh,
like
there you
I'm
go.
actually in good shape.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, it is.
You know
It
what
is.
we have credit rating?
Yeah. So yeah, it is probably like among the best food you had, and it is
Yeah.
surprisingly simple, yet extremely flavorful. Melts in your mouth.
Melting chicken. She'll actually take a bite. She's like, wow, gourmet food. Interesting. And then goes back to eating it.
Yeah.
Like she
I like
didn't
chicken.
realize how hungry she was. The last thing she probably had was like the 80s version of a protein bar, which we all know is not really a thing, right?
had
It was
nothing but
probably like a
homemade trail
granola
mix.
bar.
Mhm.
Huh?
I said I have had nothing but homemade trail mix.
Yeah. So she's like, oh, this is pretty good. And like just kind of dives into the food.
Fantastic. Kid
And
Irma.
out of character, I realize I'm probably totally eating fairy food and I don't care.
You just gotta stick your fork in, it's only gonna turn to a bunch of spiders.
Oh.
Are you eating as well?
I'm hesitant, but yeah. I'm gonna wait for Gretchen to be the guinea pig to try it first. Because she's just already going, it's like, okay, let's see what happens. Observe. Learn.
What about you, trail mix boy?
I'm pretty much just going to enjoy the food, drink some water,
Yeah.
kind of keep looking around and taking everything in.
Yeah.
Just seeing what's going on.
It's a good meal. It tastes fantastic. You know,
Yeah.
especially consider that most of your day you've been, munching on trail mix. Dry raisin and peanuts will only get you so far. And as you are eating the meal, possibly over conversation and overhearing other conversation, the power goes off. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Ah!
So yeah, we'll be right back in a few minutes. Just stretch our leg, get some water, and all that. Don't forget that you can I do believe in the chat !charity to get the links to donate for Don't Be a Monster. And we're going to be returning in about like 5 minutes to this very normal hotel in the middle of nowhere in Oregon.
But my
Totally
chicken.
normal.
Chicken in the dark.
In the dark.
Chicken in the dark!
And we will be right back. and welcome back for part 2 of this. Don't forget that you can do SMR Smart Charity in the chat to get a link to donate to Don't Be a Monster, which is a wonderful organization that help prevent bullying and educate people. Because bullying is not cool, kids. Don't do that, people. Just before the break, our wonderful group here were having a lovely dinner party in this lovely refurbished mansion turned into a hotel. And as they were enjoying the chicken, the power suddenly went out, which is sometimes can happen, especially wintertime, older house, snowstorm. As somebody that lived in a country where snowstorms are a thing during winter, things like that happen, especially on the older power grid.
When the lights went out, did we hear was it like a gasp, a scream? Did it seem like it was just the power going out, or was there a big boom that happened beforehand, or?
That is a very good question. Would you like to give me a listen check?
Let me listen and see what I heard, or if I was too distracted by the chicken. Oh no, 39.
39. So you did hear what appeared to be, pretty much what I can only describe as. I mean, they're like nut breaker like we have nowadays, like fuse and all that. And you did hear one, because when those go out, they go out with style. They do make a sound. You did hear some going out.
So a breaker in the house, or a transformer outside the house?
The sound came from within the house. Outside of the house, it is so snowy that sound would hardly carry. But you did not hear anything from outside. It seems to come from within the house. Most likely from the basement area, where most things would connect.
The basement.
But hey, you are in a room with no light.
So, is it reasonable for Gretchen to have a flashlight?
I don't know. Is Gretchen the kind of person that will go to the dinner table with a flashlight?
It's one of her everyday carry items.
Okay.
Right? She's got her gun, her badge, a tiny maglite flashlight. Yeah.
It's not a big one. It's just a tiny one.
No, it's one of the smaller pen lights, right? So she reaches into her jacket pocket, pulls out this little black standard maglite flashlight, turns it so that it's on.
Yeah. When's the last time that Gretchen changed the batteries in that?
The last time she changed the batteries?
Yeah.
Because she uses it for work. The minute it starts to fade, she changes the batteries.
Okay, so probably a few, not so long before going on vacation, just to be well prepared. Yeah. Okay, so it should last you for a bit. But yeah,
maglite flashlights are amazing.
They are. You are able to be the only beacon of light in this room right now, as everybody is currently sitting in the dark. And you can just, with that little flashlight, cast the shadows of everything around you.
So she kind of scans the room.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody okay?
Yeah. You hear general consensus and...
Little flustered.
Hi.
So she'll look down and lament that she can't finish her meal and get up and try to leave the everybody stay seated. I'll go find Mortimer. We'll figure out what's going on. I'm sure the power will come back on shortly. And she'll get up with the flashlight and
go look for Mortimer.
Go look for Mortimer.
Mm-hmm. What's next with grandfather clock? They don't run on power. So it's still happening.
It's still going.
Still going. Going strong.
I will accompany Gretchen.
You will accompany
because
Gretchen?
I'm not sitting alone in a dark dining hall.
I mean, you're not alone.
True, there's plenty of people there.
Hello.
Hello. Now you're
So Irma is
sitting-
also tagging along.
Well, at this point, yeah.
Mhm.
Because I don't want to be stuck in that room. That poor bear.
Poor bear.
Poor bear.
Poor bear.
Poor bear.
Poor bear.
Wonderful. So, just a question, Gretchen. Which direction are you taking, like, when you're leaving that room? Are you going back into the, like essentially the main entrance, or you're trying to
Yeah,
like, go
she's going
behind the
back
kitchen?
towards like. Yeah, no, she's going back to the main lobby area.
Yeah.
Because that's where she assumes she will encounter Mortimer. There also might be some light, because of the the doors and the windows and stuff in the main lobby. Like,
Mhm.
yes, it's snowing, but like maybe,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe there's sometimes a little bit of light. Pure true. And I mean, you haven't seen Mortimer since he took your order. So.
And she'd like prop the doors open. Like if the room is closed, she'd
Yeah.
like prop the doors open.
Fantastic. So, going there, little flashlight, going around the place, trying to find your bearing once again. This very poorly lit room now. You do go to the front desk, and as you like scan around, you looking for Mortimer. Look at a spot. You're like, all right, he's not here. Turn around and turn back toward that spot, and there he is. Oh
He just shows up behind me.
no, but well, not behind you, in front of you.
Good
Oh, okay.
evening.
Did
Good
I
evening.
hear him walk up?
You,
Oh, God.
good question, eh?
Oh.
22.
Surprisingly, you did not hear him walk up.
That's fucked up, Mortimer.
He's a
Okay,
very light foot.
so she doesn't she doesn't jump necessarily,
Mhm.
but you can see that she is,
Startled.
kind of like, oh.
Oh.
I guess the storm blew one of the fuses.
It would
I have a
seem
flashlight.
so.
Can I help?
Absolutely, I would. Assistance would be greatly appreciated, ma'am. If you could, I could not actually find my own external light source. If you could accompany me to the basement area where everything is, hopefully we will be able to resolve that promptly, and we can resume dinner.
Sure. That chicken was really good, by the way. My compliments to the chef.
I shall pass a compliment along.
A question, Mortimer, before we go to the basement.
Yes.
It just dawned on me, I haven't seen the rest of the staff. Are they safe? Is everything all right? Given the power outage, should I check on anybody?
From what I could gather, I'm assuming they're mostly safe. There was a few kitchen member you may have possibly encountered or maid going around on occasion. But we do not have a big staff in this establishment, as you can see based on our location. Travel guests are few and far between, and keeping an eye on staff would be quite costly.
Certainly. Well, all right. If you're nobody else that needs checked on, that's good to know.
All right. So
I'm gonna look at Irma. Are we really going into the basement? Okay.
If she heard Frank, she just kind of be like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
fantastic. I like that.
Keith.
So
Keith is his name, not Frank.
yeah, Frank is a different person.
Jeez.
Frank is
Yeah.
I.
Frank is you.
Yeah.
More caffeine, please.
Oh, you hear also the ringing of a dog collar in the back.
It was so rhythmic.
It was so rhythmic. Poor dog, always itchy. So, Gretchen, you're going with following Mortimer to the basement. I'm assuming that Kid Irma, for some reason, you're also following suit.
You know, yeah, it's just
Yes,
Safety in numbers.
safety numbers, right?
Yeah, so I'm assuming it would be Mortimer like in the front, right?
Yeah.
And then Gretchen like either right next to him or right behind
Mm-hmm. Would be
with the
reasonable.
flashlight. And then Keith and Irma
Just sprunking
behind
along.
them. Just kind of bebopping along.
Wonderful. So, it leads you to essentially where you first saw him come true when he got to the main counter. A little bead curtain goes back behind there. And you can see there's a bit of a desk, a chair, and also a door. From what you can gather by just going around. As your flashlight casts very, very long shadows. Yeah, it is right this way. Look around for a key. Open the basement door. Right this way. And you can see, peering into the dark with your flashlight, that there's the stairs leading you down into this old house basement.
Creepy basement.
Yeah,
you know, nothing could go wrong here.
nothing can go wrong
Spider.
here. Going down at each step, the stairs creak. It is for the most, from what you can gather, just do a quick spot it in just to see what you can see around. Because you're, yeah,
Pretty good. 27.
27,
21.
47.
47. Is it good for Gretchen, 47, or is it?
Yeah. Yeah, because my spot hidden is at 50.
Okay, wonderful. So looking around, what you see seem to be like mostly storage. A few boxes, a few like chests, suitcase, like even like what appear to be one would assume probably a mirror underneath, like a tarp to keep it as clean as possible. Most of the things are covered just to prevent too much dust from gathering, which, unlike the rest of the hotel, this basement is quite dusty. I mean, one would not go down here just and sweep and put as much maintenance. You are able to quickly, those that roll a bit better, you're able to see from shadow flashing some of the piping underneath the house, like the floor. And you are eventually able, let down by Mortimer, to what appeared to be the electric panel. All right. We usually have somebody on hand for this that help with maintenance. Unfortunately, they've are indisposed. They've been away this week due to family emergency. Some of you would not be, by any chance, familiar with such maintenance, would you?
Is it like a modern fuse box, or
Oh,
is it
fuck
like
no.
an old like knob and tube?
Yeah, it's
Like
old, like as old as can be. Was probably like
jeez.
it was not installed like in house when it was first built, but it is probably like 50 years behind what you would expect right now. It's not up to code.
Can I swing mechanical repair for this?
I will allow you to swing mechanical repair for this.
Yes. I've got a little bit of experience. Not a bunch. Definitely not enough. 78.
Oh.
Oh boy. Looking around, Keith. At first, you were very, very confident. Like, yeah, I mean, old camp. Like, there's always
sure.
that cabin that runs on one very shitty electric panel.
Oh yeah.
You have no clue what the hell you're looking at right now. You're trying to look confident and calm and as collected as you can be. And what possibly fudge your evaluation of things is as you were going over with Gretchen with her flashlight. I'm trying to see which one may have broke her. You felt something cold on the back of your neck, just going up your spine and just gently crawling up your neck.
Gretchen, is there a spider on my back?
She turns the flashlight kind of away, not necessarily away from the panel, but just enough so that she can see the back of his neck. Does she see a spider or anything?
You don't see a spider.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything.
I'm gonna reach back and just scratch that area then.
And it feels very cold to the touch.
Oh.
Like, the rest of you is fine. There's just this spot on your back that just feel very, very cold to the touch.
Something's off.
Is everything okay?
What's wrong?
Yeah, maybe just not used to the cold so much. Irma, you want to do me a favor and feel the back of my neck here?
Sure. Let me see if I can reach.
That's a totally normal thing to ask a stranger.
Sure, I'll
Also
totally
squat.
touch a stranger's neck.
Yeah. How is it?
Is it cold?
Is it chilly?
It feels like, when you go outside in very, very cold temperature for a very long time, it is just that cold.
What were
And
you looking
there's even
for?
less than the goosebump going up.
Cold, dude?
Apparently, just my neck is very cold. Is this like a normal thing for winter or something?
To be cold?
Like just one spot of your neck?
Gretchen just kind of reaches out and touches, the one spot versus the rest of his body.
Yeah, it is
not she doesn't start rubbing him or anything. She touches the one spot
Not to make
and
it
then
weird.
kind of touches a nearby spot.
Yeah.
She doesn't ask. She just kind of
All right. Well, either way, it's fine.
That's a little strange.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be sure,
that's...
I'll give you a medicine scale, but it is very strange.
She's not trying to intimidate him or anything. She's just I mean, if it were your fingers, I mean, you didn't have an ice pack on your neck or anything, did you? I didn't see one.
No, nothing like that. I don't think I'm gonna be able to fix this. This is a little older than my usual. Let's head back up, maybe see if anybody else can.
Yeah.
A little uncomfortable down here.
And from the basement, you hear some shattering of glass.
Great.
Is it in the basement or
no? It is from above.
Okay. Is there a scream or just shattering glass?
Just shattering glass.
Maybe somebody.
I mean, there may be a bit of sound from surprise here and there, but no, oh my god, I'm being murdered scream.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
Does Mortimer react? So, when we're talking about the cold spot,
Yeah.
on Keith's neck, does Mortimer react at all?
That's a good question, isn't it?
Mhm.
Is there like I'm trying to see. Is there any equivalent inside here?
Psychology.
Psychology. Yeah.
Psychology.
Do me a
I can do
psychology.
that. I'll roll that. Oh my god! I failed by 5.
41
Oh.
of 50.
Believe it or not, I got a 1.
Nice.
My psychology is a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All that telemarketing, you are totally
Yeah.
tuned into people.
I am in.
You're better
All my
than the
years of pyramid
detective.
schemes have finally paid off, baby.
everyone's been on edge
You
since the
could-
bathroom incident.
You could sell
Yeah.
ice to an Eskimo.
All right.
Inuit.
Yes, Inuit. Yes.
Trying to read Mortimer the best you can. You don't see and you don't read any surprise or confusion to his face. Mortimer seems to be very focused on the task at hand, trying to possibly figure out how to resolve the issue here.
So is he more just looking focused, or is he just like, ow?
It doesn't seem appear to be like, lights are on but nobody's home. It just appeared to be very focused on its objective.
If I wave my hand in front of his face, will he acknowledge?
Yes, it
Uh,
does.
Hey, there's
yeah.
shattering glass.
Yes, I've noticed. That does not sound good. Those glass are quite expensive.
Alright, let's go check on that.
Yeah. And
Right.
Lead the way.
So yeah, leading the way. I'm assuming we are in the same order, right? Me and Mortimer in the
I'm
front.
assuming.
marching.
I mean, unless you want to go in a different order. Going back upstairs, looking through where would be the source of the sound, which is most likely the dining hall.
Yeah.
Looking around. You can always give me a spot hidden check if you're trying to perceive because it is not bright right now. You do have flashlights, so very minimal visibility.
So I'm at 17, which is below half,
Okay,
but not quite a fifth.
all right. So Gretchen, you look around, trying to find like where the glass came. You look with your flashlight. You're able, like, it's glass. It will reflect with a flashlight. What you find on the floor is a picture frame that fell.
Okay.
Is everybody still here in the room?
Oh, that's a very good question.
I'll roll.
I'm glad that you asked.
So what? And of course Gretchen's gonna want to know what picture fell. Was it one of the ones she was looking at
Totally
earlier?
gonna be
Right.
the one with the boy on it.
Yeah,
I got a 56, which is a pass.
a pass. All right. Let's resolve it in the order, the picture and then the root. So you go and approach a picture frame. You pick it up, make sure that you don't cut your fingers with it, which is, you have to be very, very careful. It is a picture frame of just this room. There's nobody in it. Just a general photograph of it. At least at a glance, there's nobody in it. You do see some little spots here and there that seem just to be a bit darker.
Like, like if I'm shining the flashlight on it, does it look like natural shadows in the room, or is it just like, or do they look like unnatural shadows in the picture?
It
Or
looks
like film error, right? Because I know we're and is there a date on this picture?
there's no date on this picture.
Okay.
unless you want to pull it up from the frame and look behind the photograph itself if there's any mark and date there. You don't see any date on the picture or the frame. It looks like the room, and like the shadows of like ambient location like seems to fit and match what it should be. What you do see, like what I mean by like darker area, it's just a little spot where it seems that somebody should be there, but they're not.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like if you were like to take two pictures of the same room, one with people in it, one without, and then just like reduce the opacity way down of the one with people in it.
The one with the people. And is it just one shadow, or are there multiple ones?
The more you pay attention, what did you roll on that spot? I'm just gonna carry the roll.
17.
17, yeah. You do see multiple one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, luckily Gretchen does have some experience with the paranormal. She played with a Ouija board as a kid because, you know, that's a thing that you do.
Yeah.
And she thought she saw a ghost once. So, like, ghosts are reasonable. And this is a photo that looks like it could contain ghosts. Are there, like, is there any detail? Like, can she see faces, or is it just shapes?
Are you trying to dive more into more occult stuff?
She's just looking at the picture.
You're not able to see from that. You're not able to see facial expression.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's like shape of various size and height and.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So she does then like take if she can do it without cutting herself, she'll like take the photo out of the frame and look and see if there's a date or a note or anything.
Yeah. Looking behind, the only thing that you see is 1980.
1980.
Yeah. You don't see any year, like a specific day or month, just 1980. Yeah, I think, yeah.
So she goes back and like puts the picture back in the frame and takes it back over to Mortimer.
Yeah.
I was like, so it looks like this photo fell off the wall. Do you remember when this was taken?
Oh, yes, this was taken actually a few days ago. Just sometime we do like to take a new photograph of the ever-changing room and see it through the ages sometime. Keith, earlier, like you were trying to spot if there was any people missing in this room, right?
Yeah.
What did you roll?
I rolled, oh god, it was a 56, I think, which is a success, but not a half, not a hard or extreme.
And it's probably like that mixed success here is probably due to the fact that there's only one light source, and it's been on Gretchen the whole time.
And it's my flashlight, and I'm using it.
And so you're trying to catch from shadow and chattering and people. You do pick up that there is less talking by a lot. You don't see as many shadow of people that, you know, maybe on occasion to be like who may or may not be here exactly. Like it depends on how well of a head count it keep.
Not excessive, but
which is terrible as a camp counselor not to be able to take head count properly.
True.
You probably lost a few people in your
He's not
days.
responsible for these humans, just kids.
True. So there are still people in here, other passengers though.
There are other passengers. Yes.
Is everyone all right?
From yeah, we're good. That surprised us a little bit. Yeah.
Me too. Okay, good to know that the entire cast of Bus in Snow did not mysteriously disappear.
Irma, what is Irma doing?
Irma things.
That's a good question. And there's absolutely zero other light source. Nothing that could even be like seen. Like
you can see a bit from like a bit of light from the outside, but it's only like after like you really focus your eyes after being in the dark for a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, you
That-
have to adjust. Yeah.
Like it takes a bit because sometimes on occasion Gretchen's flashlight will mess up with that.
Damn it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Is the snowstorm still completely just covering over the night sky, or can I see anything if I look out the window?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
I'm curious to see if there's anything out there I can see within the snow at all. Or
So
not.
you approach the window. Just give me a spot, Eden.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Is there a creepy like playset outside where the swings are like swinging back and forth and like the merry-go-round is going round in circles?
That's a no. That's a 94. That's a no.
That's a no.
See snow.
You see snow,
Snow.
but I'm gonna give one thing to you.
Aw. So generous.
I know I'm such a generous keeper. So, Irma, like you trying to look outside, you like in any glass you see like your own reflection a little bit in there. It's just like more light inside than outside,
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Actually.
which is good, right? Except the movement of your reflection don't match.
I knew it. Cool.
And as you approach, just like look outside and like it's practically like it catch the corner of your eye. All right, like there's something odd. It's a very, very similar feature as with the bathroom, like it with like just with reflection moments. You do feel your hands being pulled towards the window.
Oh. No. Not. Do
Um,
I or do I not? Do I have the will to be able to resist this or no? Is
You-
this just happening?
you can certainly try.
I would love to try.
What would you like
question
to-
mark?
What would you like to roll for that?
That's a good question.
Um,
I can't drive auto.
it would be I do feel
Hmm.
probably either power base or strength base.
Hmm. I don't think I really can.
Mhm.
So I think I'll just submit.
You will just submit.
I'm curious.
All right.
You know what? Yeah.
So, Irma.
Would it be a power check?
Yeah, it could be powered.
I-
Unless you're very curious and want to see what happened within the next half hour.
Do that just
Because-
half an hour, don't we?
Yeah, we only have like about a half an hour.
We need something to happen. All right, I'll do it.
So, I respect that. It took you by surprise a lot. So, Irma, you feel that pull. And then suddenly you feel very, very cold.
Cool.
And you're looking around. You're looking inside the hotel. You feel like you're almost outside of it. You feel like you're in the middle of a snowstorm. Like how cold you are. But you don't feel the snow on you. Keith and Gretchen. Keith taking a head count. Looking around, trying to catch. I probably saw like Irma's shadow like going over the window. You no longer see it. You no longer see Irma. Irma, you are not part of the hotel.
Yes.
And
Wait,
Gretchen,
did
are you
say
still
part of the hotel?
yeah,
Did
are
you say part of the hotel?
yeah. Gretchen, are you still paying attention to that picture?
Yeah. I mean, so she's like holding it in her hand,
Yeah.
right? Trying to give it back. She's having the conversation with Mortimer about it, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah. From the corner of your eye, you do notice that some of the shadow are like becoming a bit more present.
okay.
Hell
like-
no.
What do I see?
Shadow.
Oh. Are you trying to really focus on that picture?
I mean, if I'm sitting there and like as I look down, it starts to look different.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm going to stop and be like, the fuck, right? And focus on the
Mhm.
picture.
Yeah. You can either like give me occult or spot it and to focus more with your flashlight.
We're gonna do spot hidden because I don't have any occult.
But yeah, I mean, it's totally normal here.
35. So good, but not half.
Good, but not half. Cool.
Yeah.
So you take a moment to focus, and some features start to appear. You know, some of a very scalding man. Quickly reminiscent of the man that you saw earlier being angry. A few people there's an older lady as well in the picture. And one that probably catch the most your attention the most is probably getting a bit more focused and recent. And also probably because you spend a lot of time with that person in recent time. It's one that especially like in a corner, like where the window would be.
Is Irma.
It's starting to fade in, looking more and more like Irma.
Irma emerges from the shadows.
So in that moment, right, once she has enough detail to realize that it is Irma over by the window, she will drop the photo, grab her Glock from her holster, and point it at Mortimer.
Oh my god!
And be like, "What the fuck?" Like she's just
Holy shit,
she's
Gretchen.
just like, "Nope, I'm done. This is
That
is
escalated
it."
real quick.
Whoa!
Is everything okay?
So
It takes a step back.
so just to give you an idea, she's got the flashlight in her left hand, and she's got it on Mortimer. You better tell me what the fuck is going on right the fuck now.
I'm gonna look straight at you, Gretchen, and go, axe murder?
And she like kicks the photo with the frame over to Keith, and she goes, "Irma's by the window."
I'm gonna look at the frame, look at the picture, look towards the window. So you said this was taken a few days ago.
It was. Is it like? Could you? Why were you pointing your firearm at me, ma'am?
No, hold on. Don't change the topic. You said this was a few days ago, right?
Yes.
So why are there people that just came in on the bus in this photo?
What do you mean?
So while I've got the gun on him, psychology check.
Yeah, go for it. Those people were already there in the picture.
I got a 0.
Okay.
Oh my god. I'm gonna look at Mortimer as well this psychology check resolves and say, look, she's got a gun, and I've got half of mine not to stop her, right? So I advise the best thing you could do is tell me, her, and all the other fine folks in this room that might be listening at the moment what the fuck is going on, and I would like to make a persuasion check.
Yeah, roll persuasion.
74.
74.
That's a success.
All right.
Not a great one.
And it looks,
You're a persuasive motherfucker.
yeah.
Works with kids.
Yeah. So, Mortimer look at you, and being a firearm appears to be obviously surprised and distressed as he listened to Keith and as firearm pointing at him. I'm not sure what you are referring to. You are the only guest in this hotel.
He's not fucking real.
So from from a psychology standpoint,
Yeah.
right? Like, does Mortimer like look like he believes he's like? I'm trying to gauge, like, is he serious? Does he seem like he's got dementia? Like, on that note, when he says you guys are the only guests in the hotel, if Gretchen looks around the room, like, she's got her gun still on Mortimer, obviously, but if she looks around the room, like, is there anybody else at the dinner tables? Well, I mean, so depending upon where Mortimer is in the room.
Yeah, Mortimer would probably be by the entrance of the dining hall.
Okay, so I'm keeping the gun on Mortimer. I would like toss the flashlight, right, to Keith and go look at the room.
I'm gonna sweep it across and just do a quick head count. Generally, obviously, I didn't count everybody out on the bus, but generally, we're looking a lot thinner, aren't we? Numbers.
I mean, by a lot thinner. Quite a lot. Mortimer is not lying. You are indeed currently the only guest in the hotel.
How close am I to the window that Irma disappeared at?
Probably like a couple of feet, like at most like 10.
I'm gonna pick up a dining chair and throw it through the window.
All right.
Well,
that would be just like some
strength,
brawling. Yeah, I would say like I would consider it brawling, right?
Brawling.
You're brawling. You're brawling with the window. Actually, or you can do throw.
Throw.
Yeah, throw would work as well. Actually, throw would probably be more appropriate for this because you're actually literally tossing a chair.
No, 44.
44. Those are FT like wooden chair. You don't toss it as far as you would like. It hits like underneath the window, but doesn't like impact it. But does crack the chair. Please, sir. There's no need to toss the furniture. Is everything okay? Gretchen, I'm not sure why you are pointing your firearm at me.
There were people here. There were people here earlier. A whole busload of people.
You are the only guest currently in the hotel, man.
No, we're not the only guests here. There was a busload of people here earlier. Where the fuck are they?
I mean, other previous guests have already checked out.
When did they check out? Because I was eating dinner with them not a half hour ago.
Are you certain? I mean,
she like points the gun up at the ceiling and shoots at the ceiling and then puts it back on him.
Whoa, he ain't real.
Are you trying to intimidate him?
She's just, I mean, maybe, sure. It would be more intimidate than persuade. She's had enough. She's like, I take this all in stride. It's all good. Nope.
Other guests have left days ago.
Gretchen, do I have plausible deniability in this situation?
Yeah, so my persuade fails.
Yeah.
I mean, I shot a gun in the air, but I rolled a 97.
Yeah.
And it's a 15, so there's no way.
Ma'am, other dinner party have left days ago. You've been here for like a week.
She checks her watch. What does the date on her watch say?
December 31st.
When did we get here?
The 21st.
Holy shit. Is there anything that one might call a blunt force instrument in this room?
I mean, one could improvise a blunt force instrument.
You just threw a chair at the wall and cracked.
There's, chairs and other objects.
True. I'm gonna pick up a chair leg from the chair I just threw. Just see if I can tear that off.
All right, roll me general test strength, just to see Does Keith
Jesus,
lift?
I can't roll 76. It's not coming.
Yeah, no. So at this point, Gretchen's like, fuck it, we're out. Right? She's like, I mean, because as far as she's concerned, Irma's trapped in the picture. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. Sorry, Irma, I love you. She kind of like, she keeps the gun on Mortimer, and she's like, Keith, we're out of here.
Take a painting.
Hold up. Fuck. The clock. I swear to God. There's something about it. I told you from the get-go there's something about it. I'm trying to bust this fucking thing. I swear to God.
So it's the clock.
Maybe.
Well, so no, Gretchen goes, it's the clock, and you go, maybe. And so she turns the gun on the clock, like on the clock face, right where the mechanics would all be behind it.
Yeah.
And aims at the clock face to fire at it.
All right. Just use your firearm. Roll for firearm.
Sweet.
I'm trying to get like anything to I was just gonna start beating the shit out of a clock a second ago.
So I rolled a 2. That's below a 5th.
Thank God one of us is rolling.
So I do 1d10 damage to the clock,
Yeah.
which is a whopping 1.
Oh.
So you
I shoot the face. I shoot the clock face.
Yeah, which hit it and breaks part of the clock. Your ticking is still there, just a bit janky. And as you like, essentially now currently back to your backside to Mortimer. And you do feel an approach, and just at the corner of your eye.
So I can take up to 3 shots in a round.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can I take 2 more? At
Yeah.
difficulty?
Yeah. I will allow it.
So a 12, which is a 5th, which would also be another 1d10 damage. So 3.
Okay. I mean, it is a clock. It is an object, so it's not.
Fucking clock. We're
And
glocking the
then
clock.
the last one misses.
Okay. So, from your periphery, you're able to see Mortimer. I ask, do not break the furniture. And you feel a pull on your shoulder, Gretchen, as you're being pulled towards the ground.
Okay, she'll fight back.
Yeah. It is not a natural pull, as you can expect. So I do believe, you can do strength or power.
I will do strength because my strength is a 60. My power's a 35.
Or you can try, Or you can try to dodge the pull entirely. So.
No, I don't have dodge. So, dodge is half my dex, which is 32.
Yeah.
The strength would be better. Or can I, like, how? Okay, so what? It's a supernatural force, so it's not
absolutely
like Mortimer is grabbing me. Okay,
No.
because I was gonna say, because I definitely tolerate.
Yeah, the man is very just like there, and I'm assuming Keith, you're like trying to you're essentially looking at the clock, looking at Gretchen.
Yeah, I'm like.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 10, which is a 5th of my strength.
Okay. So you are.
She is strong. Bitch.
Yeah,
She
you are
is
resisting.
strong.
And you can see. So, from Keith's perspective, which is and probably the more interesting perspective here, you do see Mortimer inches away from Gretchen, right behind her. Gretchen's a tall person. Mortimer is also a very tall, lanky man. and you have a flashlight, and you're looking back and forth, and you swear that you could see shadows like trying to engulf Gretchen over her shoulder and trying to pull her down.
No.
Which she's resisting very much.
I'm gonna push the clock over. I'm stuck on this clock. I swear to God.
Give me a strength. Like it would be actually yeah.
73. I'm gonna push the roll.
All right.
Haven't had any pushes.
Hey, no, that's what we're here for.
Oh my God, I can't roll.
Did you grab
93.
Did you grab like your reverse dice and grab
These
the
are
ones that roll
usually
high
good.
instead of the low dice?
Yeah.
These are usually good.
Is there
So-
anything little portrait Irma's allowed to do right now, or am I just
Oh,
there?
you are seeing
Yeah, we
that.
can't forget about Portrait Irma.
Yeah,
Poor little Irma.
Portrait Irma.
Portrait.
You are seeing that from the outside, completely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like everything is being played out right now. You are being able to see it from the outside.
Outside of what? Like outside
The
the
window.
window?
Essentially, like if you're like right outside the window, looking from outside the window. Like you saw that
Am
chair
I
trying to
able
come.
move?
You're able to move, but as you move, it seems that you're like going from window to window.
You're a reflection, Irma.
God damn it! Can I?
And
Anyway, something
Yeah.
terrible is about
oh
to
yeah,
happen. So
something wonderful is gonna happen to you, Keith.
I push the roll.
Yeah, using all your might because you believe that this clock is the center of this. You push, and you feel like, oh yeah, I got this, and you feel some movement. Funny thing is, it's not a clock moving; it's you moving towards the clock, and moving inside the clock,
No.
and the ticking noise amplify, and that's all you can hear right now.
So is that all of us or just him?
Just him. Kid is now a clock.
Fuck.
He's now a clock?
I'm a clock.
Okay. So do I see him disappear into the clock?
That depends. How much of your attention was paid towards Mortimer versus Keith?
So I'm assuming so I shot at the clock. Unless it turned me around when it was trying to push me down.
It was trying.
I'm still looking
it
at
was
the
trying to
clock.
drag you down, right? So
am I still oriented towards the clock, or did it turn me away? Because she didn't turn back to Mortimer. She
Well, you didn't have your flashlight anymore, right?
no, I gave it to Keith.
So you probably saw the flashlight here and there, like some lights here. You see it fall on the floor.
All right. So can I turn and get my gun back on Mortimer?
Yeah, with his composed
Am I
self as
still-
always.
Am I still fighting whatever is trying to pull me down, or did that stop?
That's tough for a moment.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's done. She's shooting at Mortimer.
All right, fire at Mortimer.
Please don't roll like shit. Please don't roll like shit.
We're dead as fuck.
I rolled a 5,
A
which
5.
is below a 5th.
Yeah.
So not like shit.
No.
Good.
Yay. So 1d10 damage to Mortimer. I roll a 7. And I'm using just regular ammo, not
Okay.
Silver bullets.
not like silver bullets or personal protection ammo, just
Yeah.
regular, So what happens when I shoot Mortimer?
Question for you, Gretchen. What are your how much damage did you do?
How much damage did I do?
Yeah.
So at 1d10 I rolled a 7.
Okay. What are you, Gretchen's hit point?
14.
14. Where did you shoot Mortimer?
I would have aimed for center mass.
All right. You feel a sharp pain. Ma'am, I do believe it is now checkout time.
So did it?
Would you like me to carry your bags?
So when I fired at Mortimer, like, did I see it hit him?
You
And
saw
like how much pain? Like, if I did 7 damage to him, how much like? What damage am I
full
feeling?
7.
Am I feeling all 7?
Yeah.
Basically, I shot myself in the chest.
Yeah.
Great.
You feel like you just...
That's wonderful.
Gretchen has probably, received some hurt before, similar to that. You wouldn't know the pain.
Yeah.
It is time to check out your bag.
So when it actually hit him, did it, like, when I saw the bullet make contact with him, like, did it just go through him? Did it hit him? Like, does he look like he has any damage on him?
It's like, his suit is black and with a white undershirt. You would have went for that white spot, which is easy to see. You don't see any blood there. But you do, on yourself. You hurt a lot.
So, like... Fuck. Okay. And he's like, it's checkout time. Do you want me to take your bags?
Yes.
So he like wants me to get out of the hotel.
Everybody has checked out already.
Fuck. Because if I don't get help, I'm dead. I can't shoot at him again. I watched Keith get sucked into the clock. Irma got sucked into a picture. Jesus. So my power is really low.
Okay.
But I'm gonna try something.
So
Gretchen's big thing is she's like, I don't know if there's a higher power or not. I'm just doing the best I can with what I've got. Right. And she lost her best friend early in life. Right. So, and she's, like I said, she's had some supernatural experiences, but nothing much. As she's like taking this pain and Mortimer's trying to like push her out the door, she's gonna just like close her eyes and say, look, if there is anything in her head, right? If there is anything in the universe, you need to come do something about this shit right fucking now. And she's basically like anger praying to whatever deity will answer her as she is like bleeding here in this room, because it's very clear that like a bullet's not going to solve this. And she goes, Cynthia, which is her best friend that she lost. Cynthia, if you can hear me, just fuck, I don't know what to do. Help. And I'm gonna pray to God I can roll really well on my power roll. Because that's all I can think to do. And I rolled an 82. So no, nobody's answering me.
Yeah, nobody's answering you. But you have a strong feeling that this is not a safe place anymore.
So Mortimer's like in front of her to keep her she would be between her and the lobby.
You can try to run away.
Yeah, she's gonna head for the kitchen.
Okay.
Over by the bear.
All right. Run towards the kitchen. Open the door. And as you go through, you see the kitchen, and blink, and you are back in this hallway, like in this dining area, and you run and run and run. You are stuck in a loop. You are, and you can see there's a little sign near the entrance. The little light that says vacancy. That it is now vacant. There's no more guest. You are now.
It's the Hotel fucking California.
Yeah, you are now part of the hotel as well. You're stuck in this loop. And you spent the night at the Rosary Blue. And well, welcome to the Rosary Blue.
Rafiki.
And you do see
Tell
at the
us.
entrance more guests coming in, being greeted by Mortimer from all your perspective. And that's where we are wrapping up our little session.
Oops.
You gotta tell my ass, was it the clock?
No, you're just in front of the essentially avatar of time and death.
No!
You just run the hotel on the solstice.
Man, I was so stuck on that clock. I was like, it's gotta be the clock.
I tried
be a
shooting
fucking
the clock. I did.
We are gonna be wrapping this up. Thank you everybody thank you to my wonderful player for dying and being part of the building now. You're part of the history.
Technically,
And
I'm
you're-
still a ghost.
Yeah, you still.
I'm not dead.
Yeah, everybody's on that little portrait there. Yes. You are now a permanent guest. So yeah, just do a quick round, say to people who we are and where they can quickly find you, as we are gonna wrap up real quick here. I've been Frank, the keeper. I usually stream over the GR crew, but it's been an absolute pleasure here to be a guest keeper over at Gehenna Gaming. Thank you very much for the opportunity, everybody. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I like murdering my players.
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna pass it over to either Derek, Frey, or Selinye, whoever wants to go first to say
Just
who
go
we
same
are.
order as last time.
Sure.
I've been Derek. I was playing Keith. You can find me on Twitter at Dungeons and Derek's, where I post sometimes writing, pixel art, and random thoughts. Hi, come check me out. Selinye.
Hi, I'm Selinye. My pronouns are she, her. It's been a blast to be here and play Call of Cthulhu with these wonderful people. You can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/Selinye. You can also find me Thursdays over on the GR crew playing Titan's Grave with Rafiki /Frank. It's gonna take me a lot to get used to calling you Frank. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So-
That's cool.
On that note, this is so the way that I wanted to start off my 40th birthday. Thank you so much for locking me into a creepy hotel. Yeah.
Best birthday present.
Best birthday present ever.
Fantastic.
Hi, it's me, Frey. I played Irma, and now she gets to live forever as a Windows pop-up, which is great.
Mhm.
Windows pop.
You can find me over on Twitter at sketchy_goblin and over on SR along with Derek. Woo. And this was great. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you again for everybody for joining, to everybody that donated, and stay tuned because over here and more, there's going to be much more content from this virtual horror con, where there's going to be more story, more panels, and more fun stuff. So yeah, stay tuned and have a good day. Take care.
Bye, everybody.